All right, this defensive line group got some physical freaks with guys like Carl Lawson, guys like Michael Clemens. Who's the most physically impressive of the group?
Under the radar, Jonathan Marshall. Watch him in camp this year.
You know that every offseason Robert Saleh's here. He's going to want to add defensive linemen. That's exactly what Joe Douglas did in both free agency and the draft.
Moves aplenty. Robert Saleh can't have enough defensive linemen. The Jets made several additions this offseason. During free agency, of course, they re-signed defensive tackle Nathan Shepard. They re-signed defensive end Vinnie Curry. Plus, they added an edge in Jacob Martin, who had 10.5 sacks the past 3 seasons in Houston. Don't forget about Solomon Thomas either, a defensive tackle who was the number 3 overall pick in the 2017 draft. He's going to reunite with Robert Saleh. These transactions all preceded the Jets moving back in the first round in order to select Jermaine Johnson, and then they finished up their draft class with Michael Clemens out of Texas A&M.
So there's a lot of beef that was added to the defensive line, and some old players, some new players, like you mentioned, Johnson and Clemens. But what this allows the Jets and Robert Saleh and Jeff Ulbrich to do, almost like playing chess with their defensive linemen and being very specific who plays when.
Yeah, nobody's playing checkers out there anymore. Just like several positions on the Jets roster, they have significantly improved their depth along that defensive line. In today's NFL, you typically are going to line up in more sub-packages than your traditional 4-3 front. Just think about the Jets right now, the options they have with a healthy Carl Lawson, Jermaine Johnson, whom Robert Saleh believes was the most pro-ready of all the pass rushers in the draft and a perfect fit for the Jets. Quinnen Williams and another player like John Franklin Myers or Sheldon Rankins or Solomon Thomas. If it's a traditional base, you might opt to start Lawson and JFM on the ends, along with Quinnen Williams and Thomas or Sheldon Rankins on the interior. More quality on the edge should equate to more pass rush opportunities for JFM on the inside.
It's a win-win, all right? And so here's the thing. You mentioned a lot of the players. I know where you're going to go with this one, but your camp spotlight is who?
Put all the lights on Carl Lawson. He was the best Jet by far in last year's training camp before tearing that Achilles tendon during a joint practice with the Packers in August. Lawson, who didn't participate in OTAs, said this spring that he'll be ready to go anytime his number is called. He's a guy who's yet to play his first game with the Jets. He plans on being better than he ever was before. Lawson, by the way, he's a fan of both Johnson and Clemens, and he believes the defensive line's potential is through the roof. If they can stay healthy, the defensive line, as Lawson believes, can be a breeding ground for monsters.
I love that line. I'm itching to see Carl Lawson back in pads, specifically his debut with the green and white, because he was so good last training camp. And for more coverage, stay right here on NewYorkJets.com.